Good news, everybody. The Tikis are back, even if you didn't like them the first time. Well, these are great. They're 3D printed, they're hand painted, they look really cool on a shelf. But they need something else. And the internet tells us everything's better with LED lights. But we also want it to look like a piece of art. So we're going to start with wood. We're going to make a little base for it, but not just any regular piece of wood. We want it to look like a piece of driftwood to kind of go with that island tiki, enchanted tiki room theme. Now, it's not very easy to find driftwood in the Midwest, so the easiest way to find it is to take a cheap piece of pine, an angle grinder, and a flapper disc and make your own. If you've never used a flapper disc and an angle grinder and a piece of wood, it eats it. Look at all that dust fly. So, put on a mask, eye protection, and hearing protection, and just went to town. If you're going to make a piece of wood look old, the key is to making it look chaotic. And humans are terrible at making chaos look right. We want things to be uniform. So just go at it. Sometimes, grab a hammer and beat the dickens out of it. Just trying to make marks, make it look wood. Try to think as you make anything when you age it. Think about the story. Where's this piece of wood fit? And add layers upon layers. So you can see I stained it there with Kona. I'm sanding it. It looks pretty good. We've got all sorts of marks, but then I want to add other layers of color, again, to try and give it an authentic and old look. After the first sanding, I applied a stain called driftwood, hoping it would make the piece look like an old piece of, driftwood, but it didn't. So I went over it again with classic gray, and that really gave me the sun-bleached look I was going for. This was the easy part. The next part wasn't so easy. After spending a 40-hour print time and hours of painting, I had to do this. Heavy metal music. I really had to psych myself out to do this. And this took forever. Once I got out all the stuff inside, which is just the filler piece from 3D printing, I cut out a piece of Lexan, used my disc sander to get close to the edges, and just started creeping up so I had that perfect fit. You can see here, just marking it off, doing a little more, again, creeping closer and closer because I really wanted that perfect fit and I wanted it to fit flush. Ooh, sanding. Here I'm just trying to shove as many LED lights in this drum as possible. I drilled out the eyes on both sides where the faces are, so I needed to be strategic. One, I wanted as many lights in there as possible. Two, I needed to not cover up the eye holes. And three, I needed to make sure the lights were strategically placed on the opposite side such that they showed through the eye holes once complete. It looks like a mess, but luckily I had taken some 220 sandpaper and was able to etch the Lexan so you would never see it anyway. Now, time to finally clean up this mess. Oh, that's better. Whew. The lights I used had a small USB plug, so I drilled a hole in the bottom of the base. Then eventually you'll see made some channels such that the base is always flat, regardless of which side you're looking at the Tiki at. You can buy the lights on Amazon. These ones are a little cool because instead of an infrared sensor, it's a radio frequency sensor. That way you can be far away, change the lights, makes it a much cooler thing. It also means you just need a standard 5-volt or USB power source, which everybody has lying around. You can see here, I'd forgot a backer board at first, so you don't want the bottom of this after I spent all that time to break out. Why does it feel like I'm in the dentist chair all of a sudden? And I haven't been to the dentist for a while. Or the barber. Or outside. Anyway. Here I'm just finishing it all up. I'm hot gluing the lid on the drum. Hot gluing the piece to the wood. I'm also adding some screws. I'm trying to make it nice and solid so it can last a long time on my buddy Mike's shelf. That is, unless someone steals it. There we go. I finished it. This scene was like the end scene of A New Hope, the medal ceremony. Signing Gnarly Rocket on this historic piece of art. Not a random piece of plastic made by some guy in the Midwest during quarantine because he didn't have anything else to do. Ugh, man, I need to go back to Disney. This sucks. Ooh, look at it go. You can hear the song, can't you? It's a copyrighted song, so I can sing it long. It's a copyrighted song, so I can sing it long. If I keep going too much longer, I'll get in trouble. Yeah, I'm gonna sing it anyway. I'm really sorry, Mom.